process in ecosystems is the recycling of nitrogen through its living, otherwise known as biotic, components, and non-living or abiotic components. The living components, or biota, of ecosystem participate in the nitrogen cycle in a number of ways. If you look closely at this picture, you will notice that we'll show you the various ways in which nitrogen cycles through nature. Approximately 78% of the air is composed of diatomic nitrogen. Nitrogen is essential to life because it is a key component of amino acids, and nucleic acids. Even ATP, the basic energy currency of living things, contains nitrogen. Neither plants nor animals can obtain nitrogen directly from the atmosphere. Instead, they must depend on a process called nitrogen fixation, where atmospheric nitrogen is converted eventually into ammonium. Key players in nitrogen fixation are legumes and the symbiotic bacteria that are associated with their root nodules. Legumes include clover, peas, alfalfa, and soybeans. The bacteria associated with their root nodules are called nitrogen-fixing bacteria. These bacteria convert nitrogen in the soil to ammonia, which can be taken up by some plants. The bacteria and the plants are in a symbiotic relationship. Cyanobacteria are also nitrogen-fixing bacteria. They are prominent in aquatic ecosystems. We've seen how nitrogen is brought into the biologic component of the ecosystem via nitrogen-fixing bacteria. We will now focus on how nitrogen is cycled through the living aspects of the ecosystem. Nitrogen is fixed into the soil through the actions of free-living bacteria and, as we mentioned above, through bacteria that are associated with root nodules of legumes. Both of these methods of fixing nitrogen leads to its incorporation into ammonia, and this process is known as ammonification. The soil is a major reservoir for ammonia and other nitrogen-containing compounds. After nitrogen has been fixed, other bacteria convert it into nitrate in a process called nitrification. In the first step of nitrification, nitrous ammonius convert ammonia to nitrite, and in the second step, nitrite is converted to nitrate by Nitribacter. The nitrate is then consumed by plants. But not all the plants consume nitrate. As we mentioned before, some plants are able to use the ammonia from the soil. In both cases, nitrogen enters the primary producers in the biotic community. The plants may then be consumed by the animals. Herbivores are the primary consumers, and the nitrogen of the plants is used for the synthesis of key organic compounds such as amino acids, proteins, and nucleic acids. We've seen how nitrogen is fixed in the soil and eventually utilized by plants and then animals. We will now complete the cycle of nitrogen by showing how it returns to the atmosphere. The final aspect of the nitrogen cycle is the process of denitrification. This process is performed by a variety of microscopic bacteria, fungi, and other organisms. Nitrates in the soil are broken down by these organisms, and nitrogen is released into the atmosphere. This completes the nitrogen cycle.